One of the issues that I'm most troubled by, have been personally affected by, and have seen so many women I love affected by, is campus assault. And the prevalence of it, and how often the prevalence of it is denied, even by people in public office. And I wondered how we, as women, as young women, can ask our government to help us make educational spaces safer for women, kind of stepping outside of just talk and moving into action.
Right. I share the incredible horror and dismay at what happens almost as a matter of course. And we now know enough stories. For too long, it was just hidden. There was no talking about it. We now know that sexual assault's a big problem on campuses. It's a big problem in workplaces. It's a big problem in the military. It's a big problem everywhere. But one thinks when you're on a campus, you're supposed to be in a somewhat protected environment. And that has turned out not to be the case. So I do think, starting with universities and colleges, they need to do more to provide the kind of supportive environments that will not only reach out to young women to tell them, we're here for you and we have some support for you. Here maybe are some ideas, going to parties in pairs. I mean, doing things that are practical, but also, you have the right to say no and to mean no, and you have the right to be protected, and you have the right to be heard and believed. And so there now, I think, is some very important work going on, but it's sort of the experimental stage. Like, what will work? Don't you think? I mean, how will we, reach to young men? How will we, give young women more support? How will we have processes that actually take seriously assault? So I think we're just literally at the beginning. I mean, I do believe it's important that we have pushed all this out into the public arena, but now we've got to come up with solutions. And I am very supportive of a lot of what I'm hearing about individual colleges, universities, some states that are trying to take some action, but I want to put it on a faster track. I mean, I don't want to see other people, hurt and sidetracked by this.
Do you think we need to take the onus off of universities to adjudicate these cases themselves?
Yeah, move it into the criminal justice system. I think in many instances that's where it should be, and that requires, as it does with any criminal case, that the victim be willing to do that, because then it becomes a public process, and we have to encourage more victims to be willing to speak out, because very often you have serial offenders. And so if you can say something or do something to stop somebody before it happens again, that's important. For me, I want to encourage victims to demand much more fair treatment. And if they are not comfortable or don't want to go into the public criminal justice system, and in some parts of the country that might still be difficult.
Times dangerous.
Yeah. And so I think that we have to give the victim the choice, but universities have to really improve the way they handle these. They've been much too lax, much too prone to just putting it under the rug and hoping it goes away. So everybody needs to up their game. Everybody needs to take responsibility, and we need to make this a constant message, not just, here in orientation, here's something you should know. Every day, every way, we need to be talking about this and talking to both, the men and the women on campus.